Hello, and thanks for joining the Brazos Valley Food Bank. Today we're going to be talking about the food label. So today's video is just going to go over some of the recent changes that have been made to the food label, as well as certain things you can look for on the food label when trying to decide between products. So let's get started. We're going to start with the recent changes. Here is a picture of the updated food label. And the first change is going to be the serving sizes and calories. They have now been updated to be a larger and bolder font so that they are easier to see. And the serving sizes themselves have been updated to reflect a more typically consumed serving size. And next we have the daily values that have been updated. So the daily values are highlighted here. They're the percentages on the very right of the label. And these have just been updated to match the new calorie count that was updated with the new serving size. So next we have the added sugars. The added sugars is listed under the total sugars. It's a new section. And then lastly, we have the nutrients listed down below. So now it is required that vitamin D, calcium, iron, and potassium must be listed with their actual amounts in grams instead of just the percentages. So those are all the recent changes that you can see on the food label. And now we're going to move on to things that you can look for on the food label. So when starting off, you want to look at serving sizes. So you want to make sure you look at the serving size on the label and then compare that to how much you typically eat. Because if the serving size for a box of cereal is half a cup, but you eat 1 cup of cereal, then you need to double all of the calories and the nutrients listed below so you can know how much you're actually consuming. This can allow you to estimate a more accurate amount of calories and nutrients that you're consuming. And then next we have added sugars. So we talked about added sugars as one of the recent changes. So added sugars is going to be listed here below the total sugars. And an added sugar is just a sugar that has been added during the processing and packaging stage. So ideally you want to choose foods with little to no added sugars because overall you want to try not to consume foods with more than 10% of the daily value for calories from added sugars. Next, we're going to look at trans and saturated fats, which can be found here in the highlighted box. So the reason you want to stay away from trans and saturated fats is because they can increase your risk for heart disease. Instead of trans and saturated fats, you want to try and choose more mono and polyunsaturated fats, which can be found in foods such as fish, nuts, and vegetable oils. And similar to the added sugars, you want to try and consume no more than 10% of your daily value from calories from trans and saturated fats. Next thing we're going to look at is sodium. So sodium can be found here in the highlighted box. And most sodium that you consume will come from processed foods. Reducing your sodium intake can minimize your risk for high blood pressure. And ideally, we want to try and compare products to choose the product with lower sodium because overall, you want to try and consume less than 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day. So this is all of the updated changes to the food label as well as some things that you should look for. I hope this video was helpful and join us again soon. Thank you.